Now I would like to invite Mr. P.N. Ranjit Kumar, Joint Secretary, to speak about globalization of Ayush systems.
Consul General Shri Bhatia, Dr. Gustavo Cataldi, Dr. Raj Manchanda, Dr. Basil Siv, Dr. Bhupinder Sharma, distinguished delegates who are present here today, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Greetings from India. These two great nations, Canada and India, we have a long tradition of friendship and cooperation, and it's a pleasure being here on this soil. The presence of a delegation from the Government of India in a conference dedicated exclusively to homeopathy augurs, indicates hope that homeopathy will add a new dimension to this long-standing friendship and cooperation between the two countries. As Consul General Bhatia mentioned, we have already made some general and specific beginnings in the possibility of a strong and intimate collaboration in taking homeopathy and its benefits to the people of both these countries. Incidentally, the topic I am given is that of globalization of Ayush. At the risk of repetition, I would like to start with explaining the word Ayush. In India, sometime back in public health administration, a realization came about that allopathy or modern medicine, when many of us who have read sociology, we know the concept of a dominant class. It's one of the central concepts in sociology. So a dominant class has a tendency to establish its hegemony, which is natural. So it was seen that the widespread dominance of the modern medical system, which was good, it was providing a lot of benefits to the public, it was helping in solving the public health challenges of a big country like India, but at the same time, the other systems of medicine were struggling to find their place in the sun. So a separate department was created, separate from the modern system, to nurture and promote and also to leverage the strengths of the other systems. So these systems were Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and these four were the traditional medical systems of India, traditional healthcare systems, and homeopathy was added to that, and it became Ayush. Taking the first letters of all this acronym was coined. Subsequently, this department was upgraded to a ministry, which only means that the kind of resources at the hand of that department became more, and it got more independence because there was a minister who was directly in charge of these systems. So basically, I am a public health administrator representing the Ministry of Ayush. And coming to the point of globalization of Ayush, the Government of India has been taking many steps to popularize these systems of medicine, which basically means taking their advantages to different parts of the world. There are many schemes and many systems which we do. I can quickly list many of them actually. There is a collaborative effort between two ministries, Ministry of Ayush and the Ministry of External Affairs, through which Ayush information centers are being set up in different countries. Wherever we come to know that there is an interest in these systems, that is one step which we are doing. There have been a series of Ayush chairs set up in universities where an Ayush expert, he could be from any of these systems, he could even be from homeopathy. An Ayush expert is housed in a university which has some track record and interest in these systems for a period of 3 years, and it can be extended also. So that is one another step which I have been doing, and it has done well in terms of generating interest in countries like South Africa, and the latest is Latvia, which is becoming a base for Ayurveda in Europe. So that is another one. There have been efforts at collaborating in the field of research in the Ayush systems, where some of the research institutions in India, like the Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, which Dr. Manchanda represents, there are similar other central research councils as well as other research institutions. So there have been a series of research collaborations with some notable and significant research outcomes, which I am happy that they have been recognized by some of the reputed medical journals. There have been a series of exchange visits. Government of India is always happy to take medical professionals, irrespective of their systems where they come from, to India we open our doors to come and see what we are doing, and we are welcome to ideas and suggestions. So like that, the list goes on. There are many activities which are being done to take the essence of these systems to different parts of the world. But going a little beyond that, I mean, when we talk of globalization of Ayush, the government of India also realizes globalization in that sense will actually happen when these systems address the significant public health challenges. I mean, starting with India itself. As you know, India is a country with a huge population. We are very strong in numbers. The direct impact is the complexity of our public health challenges. And without being seen, as it normally happens with the complementary and alternative medical systems, without being really visible and without being seen, it was the Ayush systems which were taking the bulk of the load of the public health challenges. But of late, this has been recognized. The fact that these systems go without getting their true place in the sun, that's being increasingly realized of late. So the more these systems address the public health challenges in India, the more they get globalized. And what are these challenges? They are well known to all of us. To cite some examples of in the recent past, it was found that the traditional systems like Ayurveda, Siddha, and even homeopathy, they played a major role in combating some of the disease outbreaks. I am not using the word epidemic because they didn't reach those proportions. Some of the major outbreaks of dengue, chikungunya, even malaria. So those efforts in containing them, which were done in a concerted manner with significant involvement of the Ministry of Ayush, that has come to be well received and well known. And a host of research projects have also been launched with these experience at the backdrop, which we are hoping that in the next 1 or 2 years, these research projects will come up with evidence and also findings which can be verified and measured. And these will be, these research outcomes, we are quite optimistic, will give a shot in the arm to these systems. Another consideration when it comes to globalizing the Ayush systems is the underlying unity of all systems of healthcare. This concept is recognized in the Indian healthcare system, the way we manage our public health. The patients have the opportunity and the right to choose the systems which they want. The other positive point which I wanted to mention is that there is access also through the various schemes. Today, you go to any district of India, there are around 700 districts, you find that it's not difficult for a patient to gain access to any of these systems. So we have somewhat succeeded in putting in place a pluralistic health system, and it is giving, it's paying rich dividends. The rights of the patient as well as respect for the comforts of the patient. These are two aspects where you find that the complementary and alternate systems score over the mainstream healthcare system or the modern system. Finally, I mentioned the word Ayush, how it came about. It came about as a convenient acronym to cover all the systems. But it goes beyond that. It so happened that that word, that acronym, is also a word with its root in Sanskrit, one of the most ancient languages of the world. Ayush can also be seen as, it also refers to life or lifespan. So the Government of India welcomes everyone to adopt Ayush as a name, as a substitute for what we today use, CAM, CAM, which sounds quite technical, which is good, but at the same time, a word which means life, as a substitute for all these systems together sounds good. And we'll be happy if in one of the coming years the Oxford Dictionary recognizes Ayush as the word of the year, like they did with post-truth this year. With these words, I also extend an invitation to all the organizations represented here to explore ways to collaborate with Government of India and Ministry of Ayush in promoting Ayush in their respective domains. Thank you.